Hello students, how are you? Welcome to my English second paper class for the standard of class 8. I am in here with you, Chandan Devanath, assistant teacher, Kumila Modern High School. In previous class, I discussed about the rules of detached sentences. But today, I discuss with you about the passage narration. You know, passage narration is a difficult item for you. Most of the students can't do well in this item. They can get the full marks even. But I am sure if you follow the class of mine properly, I think you will do better in this item. So that's why you will be attentive in the whole class and take the important information in your copy, as you can follow the rules whenever you will do the practice of passage narration. At first, in the passage narration, we should identify the passage, what is the speaker and the listener. What is the speaker and listener? This is the first rule for us. If you can't identify the speaker and listener, actually you cannot solve the passage narration. So it's the most important for you to identify the speaker and listener from a passage. Then it is easy for you to do the passage in a very smooth manner. So sometimes you cannot get the speaker and listener from the beginning of the passage. That's why you have to read the whole passage at first. Then you can get a clarify about the speaker and the listener. Try to take the example, then it's easy for you. Suppose if I write this, do you know me? Rafiq said. Yes, said salam. This is a passage. In this passage, if you look at here, we don't get the speaker from the beginning of the passage. But if you read this, then you can get this in the ending part of the sentence. Do you know me? Rafiq said. Yes, said salam. So in this passage, we can see that speaker is Rafiq here in the first sentence. So if the speaker is Rafiq, Rafiq is going to speak with salam. So in the first sentence, Rafiq is the speaker and salam is the listener. Is it clear? Okay. Try to understand the answer. Whatever the position of the passage in direct speaker and listener, but if you write this in the passage narration, you have to put up this from the beginning of the sentence. So Rafiq is the speaker here. Rafiq. In this previous class, I discussed about the detached sentence. I have to told you that if it is interrogative, then you have to carry the auxiliary verb asked or inquired of. So you can write here asked. Rafiq asked. In the first sentence, listener is not available, but whenever you read the passage wholly, then you can see this salam is the listener here. So we have to listener also. Rafiq asked salam. Conjunction is if, as it is interrogative sentence. So you have to convert this into the assertive. If you is converted to salam, salam can be pronoun as he. Be remembered, he can be used instead of Rafiq also. That's why if the same noun is going to the pronoun of he, that's why you have to use the clue of the name of that person. So he converted to Salam, so it should be as. This is the present indefinite tense, so you convert this to the past indefinite tense. Know should be knew. He knew me. This is the first person, so it should be indicated to the Rafiq. Then it should be him. This is objective form, and him is Rafiq here. Is it clear? So this is the speaker and listener here, but it actually is not available in the beginning of the sentence. But whenever we read this, then it should be clear to us. This is speaker and this is the listener, and this is the first rule for passage narration. Yes, said Salam. Salam replied in the affirmative. Replied in the affirmative. Okay, dear students, you can easily be understood about the identification of speaker and listener from the passage. Now go through the second rule of the passage narration. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 sentences in an inverted comma. At that time, you should do this in a very easy way, and it should be like that. And it should be like that. If it is first time, then you should write said or told that. If it is second time in assertive sentence, then we have to write and added that. If it is third time, then you have to write this and also added that, and also added that. Try to see the example, then it will be easy for you. If I say the clerk said to the officer, the clerk said to the officer, I am sick. I need 1 day leave. I am sick. I need 1 day leave. I have to consult with a doctor. Try to look at the passage here. This is the passage in inverted comma. I can see there are 3 sentences. So how can you solve this problem? This is the question of mine here. I have actually given the solution here. If it is first time, then you have to write said or told, then that. If it is second time, then you have to write and added that. If it is third time, you have to write down here and also added that. Try to solve it. So answer should be in indirect. The clerk, as it is first time, then you have to write said or told. If the object is available, then you are bound to write told. So it should be told. The clerk told the officer. The clerk told the officer. Conjunction is that. I, this is first person, should be converted to the clerk, then it should be he, and you can write also she. Am is are converted to was word, then it should be was. He was sick. He was sick. And this is the second sentence in this passage. So it should be and also added that. If it is second time, then you are bound to write and added that. So and added that. I converted again to the clerk, then it should be he. Need is the main verb here, then it should be past form of needed. Needed one day leave. This is the third time, then you have to write down here and also added that. And also added that. I is converted to the clerk, then it should be again he. Then have has to convert it to had. He had to consult with a doctor. With a doctor. I think, dear students, you can understand this well. And this is for assertive sentence. This is for assertive sentence. Okay. But you can get this in the interrogative also. So we are going to discuss now if there are 3 or more sentences in an inverted comma, what should we do in the interrogative sentence? Look at here. If it is interrogative sentence, then first time you write asked. But if it is second time, then you write and also asked. But if it is third time, then you have to write and further asked. And further asked. Try to look at the passage. The beggar said, Can I get some food? Can I get some food? Can I get some food? Will you give me? Like that. Can I get some food? Will you give me? This is interrogative. There are 2 sentences here. So what should you do at the time? Try to look at the answer indirect. The beggar asked. Conjunction is if. I should be converted to the beggar. So it should be I should be converted to he, then it should be he. Can should be converted to could, then get some food. And this is the second sentence. Then you have to write down this and also asked. And also asked. If you converted to the listener of the sentence, but listener is not available here. what should you do? If listener is not available here, then you can carry here he, she or they, like that. So we can write here he or she, whatever you like you can write here. Will convert it to would. She would give. Me is first person, it should be converted to the speaker. Then speaker is here, the beggar. Then it should be him, to give him. Okay, dear students, we have completed here in the interrogative sentence also. But except this rule, we have to know more rules to complete this in a very smooth manner. Okay, try to understand the next of the rules. Sometimes in the passage narration you can get the passage only a single word answer, and it is yes or no. What should you do at that time? If it is yes in the indirect direct speech, then in the inverted speech, then it should be replied in the affirmative. If it is no, then it should be converted into replied in the negative. Sometimes you can get this only yes or no, but sometimes you will get more than this one. After yes or no, then you can get another sentence. Then what should you do? At that time it should be yes or no, replied in the affirmative or negative. If you get more, then you have to write and say that and write down the next part of the sentence. Okay, try to understand the example, then it will be easy for you. This is another sentence. The boy said, yes, I can do this work. I can do this work. This is a sentence. So what should you do here? Yes. If it is yes, then we are bound to write replied in the affirmative. So answer should be the boy replied in the affirmative. The boy replied in the affirmative. Then you can get another sentence also. That's why you have to write down here and say that. And say that. I converted to the boy. Then it should be he. Can should be could. He could do. This should be that. That work. And say that he could do that work. But if it is no, then I have to tell you that if it is no, then you are bound to write down here. If it is no, then it should be the boy replied in the negative. That is okay. We are going to discuss more sentences of passage narration. Sometimes you can get here in the passage you can get here sir. So what should you do at that time? Try to understand it. If it is suppose he said to me, sir, can I go there? He said to me, sir, can I go there? If it is sir in the direct speech, then you have to write down this in 3 ways. One is addressing a sir in the beginning of the sentence, then put up a comma, then as usual you can start the rest of the sentence. But you can write also another 2 ways. After subject, then you can write respectfully, or before the conjunction you can write respectfully also. And there are 3 ways to write down the answer. Try to look at this here. Addressing as sir. Addressing as sir. He asked me. Conjunction is if. I convert it to he, then it should be he. Can should be could. He could go there. This is one way. Another is, this is one way. Another is he respectfully asked me if he could go there. This is another way. This is also right. You can write this also. Another is he asked me respectfully if he could go there. There are three ways to write down this sentence. I have shown you every well. Is it clear? Okay. Come to the another point. Sometimes in a sentence you can get good morning, good evening, good afternoon. What should you do at that time? Try to look at here. Suppose Rahim said to Karim, good morning. Rahim said to Karim, good morning. So if it is good morning, then it should be converted as reporting verb wished. Wished. It should be wished. So instead of said, then you have to write down here Rahim wished Karim good morning. Rahim wished Karim good morning. Okay, then come to the next one. Sometimes you can get this as a goodbye. What should you do? Goodbye means bait, so it should be bait. Suppose I said to him goodbye. I said to him goodbye. Goodbye should be bade, so it should be I bade him goodbye. I bade him goodbye. Okay, so this is another important rule for the passage narration. I think by following this, then you can do any type of passage narration very smoothly. And another one is last but not the least, it is also more important. Sometimes you can get this by Allah like that in a passage. What should you do at that time? He said to me, by Allah, I can't do this. He said to me, by Allah, I can't do this. So what should you do? If it is by Allah, then it should be converted into the indirect speech, swearing by Allah, like that. So it should be in indirect speech, swearing by Allah. He told me. He told me that instead of by Allah, you have to write down here. So you need not to do any work here. Then it should be I converted to he. Then it should be he. Then write down here he. Can should be could. He could not do. This should be that. D should be that. Okay, students of class 8, it's enough for you to know this. If you capture this properly and follow this like that, I think you can solve any sort of passage narration. So I think you will be practice this like that so that you can be benefited. I will take another class in another day. Thank you. Until that.